Hello, everyone. It's that time again. Time for another. This is Commentary with Ozzy Rose. Hello, everyone. Excuse me. I'm Mr. Ozzy Neil Rose. I hope everyone is having a great day on this beautiful, windy, sunny, warm Sunday Mother's Day. And first of all, let me wish all you mothers a happy Mother's Day. Well deserved. Since it's Mother's Day, that's what I'm going to name this topic for the commentary segment. And I would say this, too. To all the ones that your mothers are still alive, appreciate them for what they are now, because one day they won't be around. Then all you'll have is just memories. Nothing wrong with that, but you want your mother to always be around. Believe me, I know mine's been dead for a long time, and I would give anything if I could just have a chat with her, but I can't. So on this Mother's Day, since this is the topic and everything, I'm going to go back a little bit to how it was with my mother. For 15 years that we lived together in Paragould, she was an addict to pills. And I always got her something for Mother's Day, a gift. Most Mother's Day, when I'd get her a gift and go to hand it to her, she wouldn't even notice me, because she was so far gone from the pill addiction. And sometimes she did. And she'd say, "Oh, thank you, son." And I mean, it sounded like it took her forever to ever get it out. She was so messed up from about 5 different opioid pills. But sometimes, like I said, she recognized I was going to hand her a gift and she took it. But sometimes she didn't. And I'd have to set it on the coffee table beside her. I couldn't convince her for 15 years that these pills was going to kill her. I couldn't. I tried everything. And I wasn't an addict to anything back then, other than to tobacco products. That was it. But I couldn't convince her. I knew I was losing a battle with her battle, trying to convince her. She was hospitalized, I think a total 13, 14 times. Because of accidental overdoses. They would keep her in the hospital sometimes for 5 days, sometimes a week, sometimes 10 days, sometimes 12. And I could not convince her. But I knew why she was an addict. I knew she was blaming herself for something about me, and I would always tell her, whatever you're blaming yourself for regarding me, Mom, you're forgiven. I said, but you can't quit these pills on your own. You've got to get help. They're going to kill you. But it's like talking to a wall. So, but before her pill addiction, she was the greatest mother that I could ever really ask for. I guess you could say she was still the greatest mother even in her addiction. It's just that she was just gone, And I had a fear that she was going to die from it, and there was nothing that I could do. It all came to a head. I've told this in some of my confessions videos. She attacked an 83 or 84-year-old friend that we loved like family. I had to get her off of her. Then she attacked just a cousin I had. I got her off of her, and then I said, "That's it. I'm out. This went too far." I said, "I went through 15 years of hell with you. You've attacked 2 people. I'm out. I'm done." So I packed up and I left. I moved in with her sister, who I loved like a second mother, her older sister, and then I was with her about 3 or 4 months. Then my mother called on my aunt's phone, and my aunt was on her computer, so I said, "You want me to answer it?" She said, "Yeah," because my phone was tore up. And I might have got to talk to her for 20 seconds. And she said, "How are you doing, son? It's your mama." I said, "Well, Mom, I'm doing okay." I said, "How are you doing?" She goes, "Well, I can't hardly breathe." I could tell she couldn't hardly breathe. I said, "Well, Mom, it's probably a heart attack. I don't have a car." I said, "Let me call you an ambulance." She said, No, I don't want an ambulance." I said, "Mom, let me call you an ambulance. You could be having a heart attack." So I hung the phone up. I called an ambulance. I didn't think to call her back. This is how wild it was with me. I didn't think to call her back. This is what I thought. I thought she went with the ambulance. So I found out that she run the ambulance people off. The next day, after I talked to her for maybe 10, 20 seconds, that's when she committed suicide with the pills. I had a cop come with a friend of mine that lived 2 doors down from her. He said, your friend here could make out through the blinds. She's on her back. She looks like she could either be unconscious or she could be passed on, Mr. Rose. He goes, I won't know till I get back over there. He got my aunt's phone number. He said, I'll call you immediately. He called me and said that she had passed on. So, naturally, it didn't sit too well with me, you know. But I thought, Now I didn't know right then that she immediately had committed suicide with the pills. There was an autopsy performed. Sure enough, that she had intentionally overdosed on 5 different opioid pills. So that's why. But even in her addiction, I still loved her to death. Naturally, I just knew that the fear was going to happen one day, that she was going to die. I thought it would be accidental, but come to find out it was intentional. So, it is what it is. But I will say this, no matter what your mother's faults are, no matter what it is, forgive your mothers and love your mothers. Because one day they won't be here. And you'll wish to God they were. And there'll be nothing you can do except hang on to memories. Now, with me, with my mother, believe it or not, I think of her smile. I don't think of the bad years, the intentional overdose. I don't think about none of that. I think of her like I do all my loved ones. I think of their smiles. I live a happy, blessed, and humbled, great life. You know, so, and I do. But no matter, you know, your mothers are like me and like everybody. We all sin, we all make mistakes. No matter what their sins are, no matter what their mistakes are, forgive them and love them right now. Because one day they will not be here. And then you're going to have a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, buts, and all that stuff, and blame yourself. I don't blame myself when it comes to my mother, because my mother was an addict. You know, there was nothing I could do. I know I tried everything, but I failed. But I tried everything that I could to get her to see the light. But when it comes to addiction, I know, because I'm an addict. When someone is talking sense to you, you see it as a threat. And that's just how it is. So, and I didn't become an addict till I was 52. But I know what addiction's all about. All my family on both sides of my family were nothing but addicts. That's what they were. I loved them dearly, but that's what they were. They were addicts to either alcohol, drugs, or both. And then I became an addict to a drug and to a drink. So that's why I say we all sin, you know, and our mothers sin and we sin. So no matter what their sins are, no matter what they've done to you, please forgive them. Because if God can forgive, you can forgive. Just like I forgave, you know. And I ask to be forgiven. And I know I sin every day. And that's why at the end of my night in my tent, I ask the Lord to please forgive me of all my sins. Because that's just how it is. But build the beautiful memories that you do have with your mothers, of course, right now. A lot of you do. I know you do. You know. But I know a lot of you some of you are probably estranged from your mothers. Don't be. Please forgive them and have a beautiful relationship and build them beautiful memories. That way, when they do leave this world, you'll think of their smiles and the beautiful memories too. And that's how I think of my mother today. I think of her, you know, her beautiful smile, and that's where I always got my smile from, was from my mother. That's going to be about a wrap for this commentary segment. And the topic is Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day to all mothers in this country and the world. Until the next commentary segment, I'm the strutting man, Mr. Ozzy Neil Rose, saying so long, everybody, and have a great day, and God bless you all. So long for now.